morning everyone. Myself Gagana. I'm here to present the topic on consumption control, desirable bandwidth, allocation, regulating by descending. Here our teammates are Kirti, Kirtan and Devika. The contents are introduction, causes of consumption control, goals of consumption control, desirable bandwidth allocation, efficiency and the power, and PMI, fairness, convergency, regulating and descending rate, conclusion. Let us move to the introduction one. Here, consumption control is a mechanism used for computer networks and the transport layers. Prevents network coming overloaded. See, if the sender are sending the packets or any information simultaneously, the network get traffic, so that it get it overloaded. Here we are here to prevent those all things, like by sender is sending the network overloaded, it causes packet losses, increase delays, reduce the throughput and the overload of a network performance. So here the causes of the consumption control. High traffic load. If the sender is sending the data simultaneously, exceeding the network capacity, he doesn't mind about the network capacity and he is sending continuously, with the high traffic load. Next point is inefficient bandwidth. If available bandwidth is lower than the amount of a network being transmitted. Rusty traffic. Sudden increase in the data transmission. It creates the temporary overload in the routers and the switches. So fourth point is about limit. Router buffers becomes full. Router buffers when it becomes full, causing the packet drops and the retransmission. If the buffers are full, the packets can be causes losses and the retransmissions can be prevented. Slow processing at routers. Routers may not process incoming packets quickly enough, creating the problem. The exclusive retransmission. Lost of packets are retransmitted and more traffic and preserving confusion. Goals are minimize the throughput, maximize the throughput, minimize the delays, the avoid consumption correlates, ensure the fair bandwidth allocation, efficiency, utilize the network resources, the maintenance network stability, achieve fast convergency, adopt to changing the traffic condition. So next slide is explained by
As to reduce this transmission rate, so that the receiver get the data efficiently, and also here the large capacity receiver where it is not actually the receiver sensitive data which is needed, so that the receiver has to reduce this transmission rate. These factors affecting the sending rate. So flow control. So the flow control occurs when the receiver cannot accept the data fast enough. So the sender must slow down its transmission and prevents receiver performance
Present, sir.
and the congestion control. So when the network becomes overloaded, the packets may be delayed or dropped. So that the congestion control which is immediately and also feedback mechanism which is having a